Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ashen Prime on comm, and welcome to King's Row. Today we are going to have really a mirror match going on here, mostly because we're just watching the bots. Because the bots are actually quite interesting to watch. The way that their AI programming works is sometimes questionable, but a lot of the times hilarious. In fact, I think all of the times hilarious. So we are watching, as you can see now, a complete mirror match. We have a Zenyatta, a Zarya, Bastion, Reaper, Soldier, and Roadhog on both teams, because that is all the bots that are currently available. They just haven't programmed the AI for the rest of them yet. So let's watch as our defensive team gets themselves set up. The Reaper coming forward, ready to be very aggressive. The rest of the team set up pretty far back. Bastion in a good spot to hold the point. The two tanks pretty far forward to do the same. But Soldier and Zenyatta really hanging to the back there. Waiting in the background until they are needed. Whereas for our attacking team, they're not even near the door. They are all just waiting, just kind of in the center there. There they go. They're off and moving, getting ready to head out. Or actively heading out. The door's opened at some point. Now, as we see, they are moving together as a team. The Bastion, of course, staying behind because he's most effective in sentry mode, trying to take care of the defending Zarya. It seems like the attackers were able to push forward pretty aggressively very quickly, and now just have almost complete control of the point until Soldier and Zenyatta come from behind, as I guess was their plan all along, is to just hide back there until the entire team was available to be pinched off and just completely taken care of. So at this point, there's just a lone Bastion on the attacking team who's trying to make some noise, but no, he's completely wiped out. The defense has held off the first attack, although the attackers have got one pip on the objective. And now our attacking team is coming forward. The Reaper, of course, for the defense is up front trying to take them out. Our red team, of course, is our attackers. The blue is defense, if you had gotten confused about that, as I did just seconds ago. Lone Zarya charging in to go directly to her death. Not necessarily the best plan. Again, though, these are the AI. They aren't necessarily going to perform the best feats of Overwatchness that we have ever seen. We do, however, see that they are all the attacking team is waiting until they all spawn again to move as one, except for Soldier, who will always sprint forward as fast as he can and dash the consequences. Of course, the consequence will be dying horribly. Yep, there he goes, finally. We get ult off from the defending Zarya, and we see Roadhog's ult as well. We're watching the Bastion try and come in, the attacking Bastion with his ult. Lots of ults just finally popped there, and it was hard to keep track of them all. But you were watching them, so I didn't need to necessarily say them out loud. And so the defense is doing a really good job of holding this. They still have 3 minutes left, which means that the attacking team still has a very good chance of getting in here, especially if the defending team makes any silly mistakes, like everybody running backwards, or running forwards to get themselves killed. Or Zarya being out on her own without a proper healer, because for some reason their healer again ran off. Roadhog is coming in for the defense and seems to be making pretty good work. Zarya is shielding pretty well, and the attacking team has actually cleaned up the defense really well, and it looks like they're going to take this first point. There's a Reaper in the back who's trying to come in and do something, but it's no good. He just didn't make it in time, although there is a bit of a fight going on in this back hallway. The attackers clean up. And so now our attacking team have got the payload. The defending team is trying to come forward and stop them just right on the front of the payload, not waiting for them to get through this first tunnel. Our defense is very far forward. The attacking team caught them in a gravitational surge, and it looks like they're actually cleaning up very well on the attacking side. Yeah, they did. The attackers cleaned up nicely. And you see again on this side some interesting behavior. The Soldier and the Zenyatta kind of holding back on both sides, really. And looks like a Soldier trying to come up behind them. He gets grabbed by Roadhog and taken out almost immediately. So let's go ahead. We have this single Bastion who's holding this point here. The attacking team, rather than face him head on, is coming around behind him and did a very good job of cleaning him out there. They also have a Reaper to contend with, but one Reaper against the entire attacking team is not going to win. Again, Soldier hanging back, Zenyatta hanging back with him as our defending team comes in kind of one at a time, one or two. You have Roadhog together with Zarya this time, but the two tanks, even as powerful as they are not as powerful as the entire team, especially not when the attacking Roadhog pops off his whole hog and starts just pushing people back and shooting faces off. Now at this point, if this were a real match, your defending team would have kind of a couple of options. One would be to switch comps. This obviously isn't working well for them. The other would be to change strategies and again not go in one at a time and try and group up. The attacking Zenyatta's Tranquility popped so far back that it doesn't do any good, and he doesn't bother to move forward because he knows that his team's fine and will just take care of it and clean it all up. Our defending team finally coming out in more than just one or two. That time was three that got cleaned up nearly immediately. Zarya is still there providing shields and doing a pretty good job of keeping people alive. The defending Soldier 76 in the back line trying to harass, but he again is all in his own. Roadhog got him with a good hook, and he is gone now. So let's watch and see our defending team coming out here. Again, three of them at a time. This time Reaper, Zenyatta, and Bastion. Bastion with his ult up, trying to do some damage. Zenyatta doing the same, trying to with his Tranquility. And we see Bastion is versus Bastion, and Bastion in Sentry mode takes on Bastion in Standy Robot mode, which is a word that I don't remember what that actual name of that mode is. But again, our attacking team is really doing a good job of staying close together and keeping the defense from being able to break them. The defending team not doing a good job of moving together as one. And so we do have this attacking Zarya kind of stretching herself a little too far forward. The Reaper is also way out here. He should probably be getting punished for that, but our attackers seem to be too focused on not him. They are too focused on the payload itself, which is not a bad thing. They're trying to stop its forward movement. But that Reaper was able to wreak some havoc. Our attacking Roadhog again gets his ult off, and we see them just cleaning house over and over and over again. The defending team at this point might start doing a little bit better as we get closer to the end of King's Row here and right next to their spawn point. They won't have much choice but to be attacking together. But it looks like our attacking team still is just cleaning them up far too easily. We see the attacking Reaper's ult go off, but it's just not that dangerous because there was no one else there. The rest of the team had killed him at that point. Zenyatta in the back trying to do what he can. Zenyatta kind of the weakest of the healers, just the squishiest. He dies really quickly, as was demonstrated. So our attacking team makes very short work of this. Not even close to the time limit they had, and then GG. And that is 1-0 in the red team's favor. So we're going to be moving on now to another map. I'm not sure what the map will be. And now we're on to a King of the Hill match. This is Lijiang Tower, as the lady said. But what you are seeing now, is, because I didn't describe it well earlier, you're watching me kind of practice casting. The teams are already out and ready to go because it doesn't feel like making me wait for the countdown, which I appreciate. And we see the blue team is kind of coming around the front, as is the red team. The red team came a quicker route, it looks like, and so they got out onto the point first. And so the red team is currently on the point, seems to be taking pretty good control of it. But the blue team actually is getting in here and cleaning them up nicely, it looks like, yes. The only death so far, nope, we have some deaths on each team. Nobody really making any progress on the point. But there it is, and the blue team has cleaned up, and red team is mostly dead and trying to fight their way back in now. And so let's keep an eye then on our red team as they try and come in to take this from the blue team. Now the way King of the Hill works, of course, is once you have taken the point, you have to then hold the point for approximately a minute and a half, or excuse me, approximately a minute and a half, until the timer up there at the top, the clicker has clicked over to 100%, and it's clicking approximately 1% per second. and so it takes about a minute and a half, which is 90 seconds. A little bit more than that. It's a minute 40 to get up to 100 seconds. But that's only if you can keep it and hold it. It looks like the red team has taken it, and now they're going really on the offensive. They aren't going to wait for the blue team to come to them. They're going to go to the blue team and try and wipe them out as they're on their way to the point and keep them in their spawn. But that fails on them. That's not always a good idea, because that generally leaves the point itself unguarded. And so our blue team now has kind of got control of the point, except for this one Zenyatta that they've just taken care of. And it looks like now Roadhog is also on the point for the red team. But the red team actually surprisingly was able to keep the blue from capturing it, even though they were sitting on the point for a while. And our blue team now is waiting back in spawn. It looks like they're waiting for everybody to spawn so that they can push together. That's a very good strategy, making sure that you have your whole group there. There is maybe a little bit to be said for keeping them on their toes, but it looks like this time they're going around the back side of the tower, of the shrine, excuse me. The tower itself is that monstrosity. But the backside of the shrine, they're coming in to try and take care of the red team. And let's see. Currently the red team, it looks like, is actually kind of falling here. It's kind of hard to keep track. They're about 50s actually right now, but it looks like the red team is actually cleaning up the blue team really well. There's only a few people left alive for the blue team. The red suffered no casualties. So the blue team is off in the back there. I do want to take a moment, because this is the King of the Hill map. There's a bit of a skirmish happening over here. It looks like the Bastion is cleaning up pretty well with his ult. The blue team is trying to push around back again, but they're getting... the Roadhog is on his own on the back. The rest of the other three are moving forward. But as we are looking at this map, this King of the Hill map, and realizing that for the King of the Hill game mode, at least in this mode, it's going to be the best of 3. So there will be at least 2, possibly 3 rounds played. And for this map, we're here on this main map. You notice they've gotten to 99%. There's overtime left. We will be moving forward either to this map down here that you can see, or that map up there, which you can almost see. And we'll see which one we're going to next. We just finished on the shrine. Now we're moving on to Lijiang Tower, and we are in the command center, the upper offices. You can see the map we were just on is right there below us, and there's a third map below that. But now we are at the top of the tower, really. This is, I like to call it a control room. It seems very NASA-esque, very space control room to me, as a lot of the symbolism, a lot of the widgets kind of around the space imply. So our blue team over there, red team over there, and now the timer has come down, and they are supposed to be moving. And they are. There they come. They are both rushing now for the control point. There's a lot of different twists and turns inside these maps, but the control point is where most of the action is taking place. So that's where we will focus our attention. The soldiers are, of course, the first ones in, because they have the sprint function, and we see the soldiers engage, then we see the rest of the team engage behind them. A couple of healing fields come down for both of the soldiers. Zenyatta's, of course, throwing their orbs everywhere. Bastion's killing in the background. But it looks like red is again kind of dominating here. The blue team, yeah, the blue team was completely wiped out. The red team is just superior for some reason. Probably luck, maybe not. We'll never know. Again, these are supposed to be equal matches, and they obviously aren't. Red team has kind of been stomping, unless they make stupid mistakes, but at least in this map, they have been stomping. So we notice that the red team is kind of trying to get a little bit more aggressive. Looks like they're rushing towards the spawn to maybe come in behind the blue team as the blue team attempts to take the point. But that means that there's that they have less people on the point as the red team. So the blue team is actually coming in here and making a pretty good job of cleaning up all of this. The enemy Zarya, or the red Zarya, I think of them as the enemy because as you play in normal games, you are always blue and the enemy is always red. So seeing the red team versus the blue team, it's the good guys versus the bad guys almost entirely. That's why I'm in favor of having custom team colors personally. But honestly, this the blue team nearly had it, and then the red team, a lot of them respawned and were able to come in and clean up right at the end there. The Roadhog here, as well as Zarya, the two tanks, were able to really kind of keep a handle on things. And now let's see where this Roadhog is planning to go. It looks like he's possibly trying to get behind the blue team, or possibly to hold them into their spawn room, which again is never really a good idea. You don't want to move too far away from the point in this game mode, even if you think that you can make some noise that way. Because here we are again, the blue team kind of cleaning up the few people that they left on, that the red team left on the point, and able to start making moves towards capturing it. Now, of course, at this point, the red team has already held this point for quite a while. They have 87%, moving on 90% of the objective time, but blue team has now just captured it, which means that red's objective meter has stopped going up. Blue has now started going up, and red is going to have to recapture this if they want to win. Now, they are within 10 percentage points of winning, so if they are able to take this back, they probably will win fairly quickly. But blue team is doing a really good job right now of keeping the red team out, and they're not making the mistake of being too aggressive. They're staying here on the point, ready to fight on the point, where they know all of the red team will have to come. Now, it does look like our defending team is kind of low on health. The Zenyatta and the Soldier are both down. Roadhog, the defending Roadhog is low on health, but they were still able to kill people pretty well. The attacking Bastion kind of hiding behind the wall. It doesn't look like the defenders know he's there. They do now. The Bastion was waiting for the Zarya to come up and back him up, but the defending, or excuse me, the blue Zarya is now ready to hit the point because she's right there. But she is now caught in the Graviton Surge from the red Zarya, and the blue Bastion actually being kind of inefficient here. There we go. He's able to take care of stuff. The blue Roadhog finally coming in on it because they see that the rest of the team's there. The red Roadhog hiding behind a wall until he is called upon. The rest of the red team all just kind of on the point. Everyone trying to stay on the point as much as possible, it looks like. The blue team trying to make sure that the red team can't have it. They're contesting. The red team trying to get the blue team off so that they can take the point. But the blue team now has done a pretty good job of cleaning up the red team. Looks like the Zarya Roadhog tank battle was happening there for a little bit. Roadhog on the blue Roadhog, however, just pulled in the red Zarya, and now they wow, there is a lot going on right now. The red team had a commanding lead, but then they got too cocky. They tried to push too far forward, and now at this point they're paying for it. They're paying for it and just not having this map, and now we just noticed the blue team's percentage climbed up over that the red team has, and it looks like they're going to hold this point rather well. And you see, here we are. We're in overtime now, unless one of the red team can hurry onto the point and tag it. Nope, there we are. So we're moving on now to the third map in this series. This is the night market. I don't have any water with me, and I'm regretting that choice. All right, so here we are on the night market. You notice fish shops, kind of fun indoor area, and then this also kind of shriny area. And again, as we look up, the layer right above us there has the shrine. Then up there at the top in the weird girders was the area we were just at. So here we are now, though, at the night market. This has this nice edge that you can push people off of. It doesn't look, however, like any of our, with the exception of Roadhog's ult, none of the heroes that we have will be good at doing pushing. But let's go ahead and let's keep an eye on this central market area, because this is where a lot of the fight will happen, I think, if they take the most direct route to the control point. So yeah, there's the blue team are coming in kind of from the closer to the point. The red team came in farther back, but now they're all getting on the point, going through this grassy area, getting inside of the building itself, trying to take this first control point. And it's anybody's game right now. It looks like blue has suffered more losses, which means red is more likely to get it, and in fact that is what happens. Red had killed quite a bit of the blue team, and now they have this point. And maybe they will have learned from the last match, and they won't try and be so aggressive. But it looks like that Reaper didn't get that memo, and he pushed off pretty far ahead. The blue team now, of course, already back onto the oh no, I gotten completely backwards. That Reaper was returning from spawn. I apologize. It looks like Zarya had gotten actually a bit too aggressive. So the blue team now is killed a lot of the red team, and they are all still around. Zarya here and Bastion, it looks like, are the only ones left to hold this for red, and they're taking care of red quickly, even with their ultimates. So blue now has the point and is gaining their percentage. Red stopped at 35%. Blue has started counting now. They were starting from 0, but they've started. And it looks like our red team is coming in trickles now. They aren't bothering to try and stick together. But the blue team, again, they're getting really aggressive and pushing farther forward than they need to. And this map, you don't necessarily need to stay right on the point, but if you kind of stay in this garden area or the market outside of it, you will probably be in a good spot to help fight for your team. But on this point, we see Reaper ult goes off, and that kind of clears out the last of the blue, and it looks like red has taken it back. And the blue team is all waiting to respawn again, except for this Bastion, who's trying to do some good before his ult ends, and probably his life as well. Although, no, it looks like he might have escaped. Nope, Zarya's on him like white on rice. Or white on Russian snow. Or, I don't know, make some Russian joke here. Like Putin on bear. I don't know. But the blue team is trying to come in, and they're all trying to come in through the one door, which is really unfortunate because that Graviton Surge caught them all. But the red team is actually, again, cleaning up pretty well. There's more deaths on the blue team so far than there have been on the red. But the blue team looks like it currently is... Nope, the blue team is completely wiped out there. And the red team is sitting on the point with 70-80% now. Ready to go, and that sounded like the red team Roadhog and celebratory mouth breathing, whatever it is that he does. I don't know why Soldier thought that running in on his own would be effective. It never will be. It never will be. Don't run in on your own. Roadhog's ult trying to clear out some people for the blue team so that they can take this point, but we are at 99%. But the blue team is on this point right now. They have kind of complete control of it. And although the red team, it looks like, has more people up and are more likely to be able to wrest control back. But there is a lot of blue on this point right now for the red team. The red team don't want this blue here because as long as the blue are on the point, the overtime timer doesn't count down. So Bastion is coming in trying to clean things up. Reaper is trying to clean things up. But it looks like blue might actually be taking this point. Zenyatta is on the point now trying to take it. The red soldier is here to try and help. Looks like there's just the blue soldier 76. Now red has the point, and if they can just hold it for a couple more seconds, they will win, and done. And that is a red team win on Lijiang Tower, a King of the Hill map with some very different rules than the rest of the game, and so the AI acting a little bit differently, and it's kind of fun to watch. All right, so that's it. That's the end of our best of 3 series. The red team actually kind of grabbed it there, but we do want to thank you all for watching. We appreciate it, and until next time, this is Ashen Prime, off comm.